We have 4 bills for your attention today. These are bills that have been passed by Congress. In the closing days of the Biden administration, they pushed through a large number of rules and regulations that really hurt ordinary Americans, including in their own homes. So the first of these is HJR 20. This is a bill that repeals Biden-era regulations relating to consumer water heaters, consumer gas-fired water heaters.
Who was in charge of this one?
This is Gary and myself, sir. Gary Palmer sponsored it, but this bill specifically saves a factory in my district. 300 Georgians will continue to have their jobs as soon as you sign that.
Mr. President, this rule was issued on Christmas Eve, thinking that we wouldn't be keeping up with what the Biden administration is doing, that we moved quickly to get
And
this
this was
bill
on
introduced.
gas heaters.
Banning natural gas.
Isn't that
tankless
ridiculous?
water heaters.
And how were you supposed to get your heat then? Through electric? That's through electric. Yeah. Was that basically it?
Sir.
Electric heat, which isn't as good. Crazy. You Gary, hold that up. Brian, hold that up. You guys were great.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No sense, just no sense. But in addition to that, you have a lot of workers that lose their job, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
300 workers
Crazy.
saved because of you.
Good, thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
an honor. You are going to always have a baseline. I mean, there could be an exception at some point. We'll see. You know, somebody does something exceptional for us. That's always possible. But basically, you have a baseline of a minimum of 10%. And some of them will be much higher, 40%, 50%, 60%, as they've been doing to us over the years. We had a wonderful deal yesterday. We have 4 or 5 other deals coming immediately. We have many deals coming down the line, and ultimately we're just signing the rest of them in. But we always have a baseline of 10%.
We have House Joint Resolution 75. Again, this is a rescission of a Biden-era regulation, in this case relating to energy standards for commercial refrigerators, freezers, and refrigerator freezers.
Do you have the sink one in here, the sinks and shower heads?
We have an executive order on that coming for you later, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
coming when?
Later this afternoon.
Okay, good. You going to be around later this afternoon? Good. Sinks and shower heads, where you buy a home and you have a new shower head and you don't get any water. The water doesn't come out of the sink. The water comes out of nowhere. What a shame. What a ridiculous waste. Okay, let me do this. Come here. Who's responsible for this?
This is mine, Mr. President.
Oh, good man
Yes,
here.
sir.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
want to discuss that?
Yes, sir. This was a government regulation that we have now repealed. Thank you very much, Mr. President. That now saves the American taxpayer. I was getting ready to say the Texas taxpayer, them too. The American taxpayer, because who would have ultimately paid the price on a government mandate and a government regulation? The people of America. So you just say the American taxpayer money. So thank you very much.
That's fantastic. Thank you. It's a great job.
This is House Joint Resolution 42. Again, this is a rescission of a Biden-era regulation, in this case relating to energy conservation standards for household appliances and certain consumer products.
That's a good one. I know who's over there. I know who did this. Explain that, please.
Sure. Look, this is helping fight inflation because the burden on appliance manufacturers is going to drive up the cost of them producing household products, which means that when you go buy a washer, dryer, any appliance, it was going to drive up the cost for consumers. It reduces consumer choice. But in the bottom line, we've been trying to fight inflation. This fights inflation. This takes the cost out of producing these products that Americans need every day. And when you add all this up, it's one regulation here, one regulation there. They always say it's de minimis, but when you add it all up, it costs a lot to American consumers, and this is fighting back.
And it's not as good.
And it's not as good.
Not nearly as good, not nearly as efficient, and more costly. Other than that, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Great
Mr.
job.
President.
Thank you, Ram.